Alright, so this is just my quick review of the Resident Evil 2 remake. I just finished Claire's scenario, the second scenario, and yeah, just a quick review, nothing edited or whatnot rehearsed. The original Resident Evil 2 is my favorite survival horror game of all time. It was actually my introduction into the series. It's actually an interesting story how I even procured my copy of the game. Remember I used to go over to my best friend's house whenever I had, some time off after school, and he had an N64, and one day he told me to come over and that he had this new game called Resident Evil 2, and I knew nothing about the franchise. I never played a survival horror game before, and so I went to his house and he started playing it, and he had already played a bit of the game. It's about maybe a third of the way in the game, and basically, he was playing and he started to grin at one point in the game, and I was thinking, why is he grinning? It's a survival horror game. There's no reason to grin. And then, there's a part in the game, if you play the original, where basically, if you're Claire or Leon, whoever, and you're, walking through this very narrow, hallway, basically, and, there's these windows that have been boarded up, and then, it's very silent, around the characters. You're just walking, so nothing scary is going to happen. And then you get this big jump scare where, these zombie arms just, burst through the freaking windows, through the boards, and try to, get at you, and try to strangle you, basically. And my heart literally skipped a beat. It was terrifying. That was my first jump scare experience in a video game. And then he burst out laughing because he'd already gone through this, and then he had died afterwards, and he just was going through it again. And after his latest save point, so he knew what to expect, which is why he was grinning. Because he was also startled by the whole situation. So I was like, man, this game looks pretty badass. And then fast forward 2 weeks. And he wanted to go to Toys R Us with his uncle, who was a retired lawyer, very well-to-do. And basically, he wanted to get a Super Soaker. And so, I just figured I'd just tag along, because, whatever. And then, we got to the electronics section. This was at, I believe it was Zeller's. Electronics section, and I was just, perusing through the games. And my friend told me, hey, why don't you pick out a game for yourself? I'm like, why? He's like, hey, don't worry about it. My uncle will pay for it. And I was like 12, I think 12 or, how old was I? I think I was 14 at the time. And then my friend went to his uncle and said, can you buy this game for him? And then I asked him, well, what's my limit in terms of how much I can spend? He looked at the price tag for the game, it was $96. I'll never forget it. He said $96. And yeah, he bought me the game. This was back in the day when N64 cartridges were really expensive. That's one of the reasons why the N64 got ass handed to it by the PS1. Well, I live in Canada. And this was back when the Canadian dollars was 60 cents US or something. So yeah, a single cartridge would cost over $100 with taxes. But he bought it for me, and I was very grateful. I went on and played the game, and I fell in love with Resident Evil 2. I fell in love with the franchise, and I've since gone on to beat the game over a dozen times on the N64, the PS1. I beat it a bunch of times on the PS3 once I got my PlayStation account, and I think I beat. Yeah, I also beat on the GameCube. I actually bought the entire collection of the GameCube Resident Evil games as well. I beat on the GameCube. I never beat on the Dreamcast. But yeah, so it's my favorite survival horror game, and the Resident Evil is my favorite video game franchise of all time. And so when I heard that they were remaking the second, I was super excited because I played the remake of the original Resident Evil. When it came out on the GameCube in 2001, I believe. And it was a masterpiece. It was head and shoulders above the original, which was just a complete and utter cheese fest. And so I was really, pumped about this remake because they did such amazing things with the 2001 remake. I figured, okay, with PS4, the Xbox One, it's going to be an absolute masterpiece. Now, I'm sorry to say it isn't a masterpiece. I remember seeing the first launch E3 trailer, and I was kind of disappointed. And then I played the one-shot demo, and I was really disappointed. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to play this game or whatever, I'll wait for a big time price drop. But because I've got some chronic health issues, I figured, you know what, I might not live long enough, to play the game when the price drops in December. So whatever, I decided to cave, and I spent $96 on the game. Yeah, I live in Canada. It cost $80 for a standalone game, plus taxes, it's $92. Then I spent an additional $4.50 or whatever for the soundtrack swap. Again, that's Crapcom for you, always milking the franchises, always trying to milk every penny from the gamers, having to pay extra $5 basically just to have a soundtrack swap, and it should have been included. And with the original game, it's bullshit. It's one of my many gripes with the game. No, the game seemed rushed in many ways. Like, it seemed to lack some polish in certain areas of the game. The story felt rushed, especially Leon campaign. I thought Claire campaign was more fleshed out in terms of story and characterizations. But the original scenario, like the whole love story, just felt so like rushed and forced. Like Ada kisses Leon, I was like, that just didn't seem right. Um, Graphically, like honestly, people are like touting this as like the best next gen or current gen game. I really don't see it. Mind you, I played it on the Xbox One S, so it is the inferior version of the game out of all the versions out there. But still, I've seen stunning games on the 360, like Gears of War 2. Like I said, the remake was stunning. The remastered remake on the PS3, the Xbox One is gorgeous. Looks better than this game. When playing RE5 and being blown away by the graphics when you first start the game, boot up the game. Honestly, the graphics didn't really stun me in any way, shape, or form. I thought Claire looked kind of like deformed or something. There's something off about her face. Even the voice acting, Claire's voice acting, it was just off. I miss Alison Court. She's the one and only Claire. I mean, other than Claire's voice, like the rest of the voice acting in this game is really competently done. So solid voice cast, and with the graphics though, like, and they're not bad by any stretch. But other than like the last third of the game, the third act where you're in the nest, the graphics didn't really wow me. And even the decapitations, one they wanted to find them to be really cartoony, like when their heads blew off. It's not very satisfying. Just something seemed awful about the decapitations. So yeah, the story, like I said, it seemed rushed at times. The graphics, nothing, special to write home about. And the default soundtrack is absolute garbage. I mean, it's just the worst in the Resident Evil franchise. It's almost like and what's really tragic is it was like the original composer actually created the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolute shit. I mean, I highly recommend if you do get the game that you get the original. I know it costs extra $4.50, but it's worth it. I mean, the soundtrack that comes with the game is completely and utterly forgettable. It's not a single standout track. So the soundtrack is shit. The graphics are okay, but nothing special. Then there's a core gameplay. I mean, if you play the game on normal or nightmare mode, the aiming is off. Before you say, "Oh, you're just a noob," like I beat the remake on hard. I beat Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on hard, and I also beat Resident Evil 4 on professional and Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City on professional. So I'm not a bad gamer by any stretch. But the aiming isn't the greatest. The zombies are bullet sponges in this game. Like in every other Resident Evil game, you pop an enemy in the head, a couple of shots is going to take them out or decapitate them. In this game, you take up to 7 fucking bullets to the head to kill a single zombie. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. It's bullshit. You pop a couple of rounds, you think it's dead, gets right back up, and it's just so annoying. Another problem with this game is that it's really, really dark. It reminded me of Doom 3. Like through 80% of the game, you're running around with a flashlight. And maybe they added it. It was part of the gameplay design to create a more like tense, dark, foreboding, ominous ambiance. But honestly, I don't know. It was just really frustrating. The game is huge. It's a lot bigger than the original. So you're running around trying to figure out what the hell you have to do. And it's really dark, and a lot of the parts of the game, because it's the police station, look the same, and you get lost. Even though the mapping system is definitely superior to the original, I never used the map in the original Resident Evil 2. Even in my first playthrough when I was 14. I never used the map. I just figured it out. But this game, you have to use the map. The game is freaking huge. And you're just running around back and forth through this huge fucking police station, trying to figure out what you have to do. And then there's Mr. X, who almost ruined the game for me. The problem with Mr. X is that, like in Mr. X in the Resident Evil 2, in the second scenario, when you take him out with a couple of shotgun rounds or grenade rounds, he'll be out for like a predetermined period of time, right? You take him out and you won't have to worry about it for an hour or two until you actually make progress in the game. Then he'll come along the second time. You probably take him out a second time. I think you face him 3 times. Second scenario, and then at the end he sheds his skin or whatever. So it's basically 4. He's the final boss. In this game, the problem with Mr. X is that if you try to take him out, let's say 3 flame rounds or 3 shotgun rounds, all it does is stun him momentarily for like 30 seconds. Then he'll get back up again. So ammo is so precious in this game, especially like the more powerful rounds. And all it does is stun him for 30 seconds. So for much of the game, just trying to escape this piece of shit, it's not worth it to try to take this piece of shit out. He's just gonna get back up. And then you're just trying to solve puzzles, trying to figure out where you need to go next to make progress in the game, and you have to deal with this asshole. He's thrown by your side or whatever. It's just Mr. X almost ruined the game. I really wish it would have been like the original where you took him out. If you weren't a coward and you faced him and you basically beat him, you don't have to deal with him for let's say an hour in the game. But no, it's just 30 seconds. He gets right back up. And you gotta deal with them, and he opens doors, except for the save room. He chases you around, and it's really annoying. And again, you have Nemesis, Resident Evil 3. Again, you take him out, you actually get something for it on the hard mode. You get rewarded with like parts for your guns and stuff. And then you won't have to deal with him for a while. In this game, you take him out, you stun him, you don't get anything in return. It's bullshit. Mr. X is garbage, the graphics are not that great, the soundtrack is shit. Story seemed rushed, especially in Leon's campaign. Aiming seemed really off. It takes a gajillion bullets to take out zombies, including headshots. Some of the puzzles are very frustrating. Yeah, there's like a lot of trial and error puzzles. There's a pain in the ass. Most of the puzzles in this game are a pain in the ass to complete. You're just trying to figure things out, randomly pressing things, hoping something will work. Most of the puzzles in the game are shit. Probably the worst in the game. Worst in the series. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with this game. It's not a flawless game by any stretch. Yeah, people are touting it as like the best Resident Evil game of all time, the best survival horror game, and I don't get it. It's not. Now, the game did do some things right. There's some really cool weapons in the game. The spark shot is vastly improved. It's like a charge shot. Flamethrower is more satisfying. There's this gun in the game. Well, not this gun, but you get these these handgun rounds that can basically decapitate zombies in one hit. They're really fucking awesome. I got them, and they're very satisfying, but you get them near the end of the game, unfortunately. The submachine gun is absolute shit. The worst in the franchise. It's basically ineffectual. You compare it to the TMP in the Resident Evil 4, which was a vastly superior weapon, which you can even upgrade. Here you can basically upgrade it slightly, just with a suppressor, but yeah, the submachine gun is shit. The handgun is okay. There's a handgun you get near the end of the game in the parking lot. It's got like a laser pointer, a la Resident Evil 4. It's pretty cool. There's this gun which can fire off 6 rounds or something. I forgot the name of the gun, but it's pretty cool. Problem is, it takes forever to reload, and so yeah, it's kind of frustrating. The best weapon in the game is Claire's grenade launcher, and the flame rounds in this game are so fucking satisfying. Okay, it's like when you pop around into a liquor, and you see him get like flambeed to death, and then he's like burnt to a crisp. It is so satisfying. Like the fire effects in this game are gorgeous. Like I said, I'm not saying this game is bad looking, but I'm just saying it's not like the greatest looking game of all time. It's a competently made game. And Capcom games tend to have awesome graphics. This game has good, competent graphics. They're just not the be-all, end-all. They're not the best graphics of the generation by far. But the flame effects are amazing. It's really satisfying to roast enemies with the flame rounds. The acid rounds in this game are absolute shit. Like you could pop a zombie in the head with an acid round and it won't kill it. It's ridiculous. Acid rounds are absolute garbage. So yeah, but the flame rounds are good. The Magnum is a cool gun. I think it's called the Lightning Hawk or something. It's a cool gun. Shotgun in this game is pretty shit. Compared to the shotgun in the Resident Evil 2, it was so satisfying to decapitate zombies. You were basically guaranteed a decapitation. Get the zombie kid close enough, boom, you can set them up to 2 or 3 of them at once. It was so satisfying. In this game, the shotgun is not a very good weapon. You can take 2 or 3 rounds to kill them. And most of the time, you wouldn't be able to decapitate them. And then when you upgrade the shotgun in the Resident Evil 2, the original custom shotgun, you can basically blow off half of the zombie's fucking bodies, torso, clean right off. It's so satisfying. Then you see like the legs walking around, and then they fall off, and it's all wonky and hilarious. Yeah, so satisfying. The custom shotgun in Resident Evil 2, the original. This game, shotgun is shit. Like I said, this game did improve on the first in some ways. The map is vastly superior. It's a really good map. There's some like fun puzzles in the sense of like getting some combinations with some of the locks and stuff, figuring out how to get the combination is kind of interesting. There's a gunpowder mechanism in the game, which is kind of neat. So you can combine different types of gunpowder and create handgun rounds. You combine like a high grade one with another like a lower grade. You can get like more ammo, or like you get acid rounds. You play with Claire, and I think you can get magnum rounds. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, there's like different types of gunpowder. It's like a basic one, like a high grade one, so like a large one. And combining them yields you different types of ammo, which is really cool. And they didn't have that in the original. They had that in Resident Evil 3, I believe. Yeah, they did, but they didn't have it in the second, and they have it in this game. So that's kind of cool. Gunpowder's cool. Also, in Resident Evil 2, the remake, blue herbs do more than just cure poison. Basically, they kind of almost make you invulnerable for a short period of time, which is really fucking awesome. So if you combine like a red herb with like a blue herb and a green herb, I don't know if you'll be vulnerable to harm, but like it'll halve your damage or something. I'm not sure how by how much, or something like that, basically. So it's really cool. So like for limited time, like it comes in really handy against bosses, basically. So that's really cool. They added that mechanism and mechanic to the game. Also, there's more inventory slots in this game. Although like by default you don't have that many. You have to like explore the police station and other parts of the game and get like this hip pouch add-on or what have you. And every time you get one of these hip pouch add-ons, you add 2 inventory slots. There's like 5 or 6 in total that you can collect in the game. And you gotta solve puzzles and stuff to get all of them and stuff. So really, the game really incentivizes you to like explore, to get like all the loot, get all the ammo and all the rations and stuff, and like the gun upgrade, the gunpowder and all that. So that's kind of cool. And it's also cool that you're able to discard items on the fly. So if you like these are the non-essential items that you need to get rid of, and you don't want to go all the way back to the last item box, you just discard items that are like non-essential. Like let's say you don't need that much handgun ammo or boards or what have you, you can just drop them. You couldn't do that in the original. You'd have to run to the last item box. Also, this game has checkpoints. So like if you die, you don't save. You don't have to worry. In the Resident Evil 2, the original, if you die and you don't save, you have to start from the last save point. If you don't save at all, like let's say you get to the last boss without having saved once, you die. You start at the very beginning of the game. This game, you don't have to worry about that. Also, there are no ink ribbons in the remake. In the second, you have to deal with ink ribbons. You took up unnecessary space in your slot, in the inventory slot, or what have you. And then you have to worry about, well, should I save? Should I not save? What if I run out? You don't have to worry about that. At least not on the normal and easy mode. You can save as many times as you want, which is cool. So this game does do a couple of things better than the original. But overall, the original, for its time, is so much better. The graphics were more impressive for its time. The soundtrack blows this soundtrack out of the water. The characters were more fleshed out. The stories are more engrossing. Claire and Leon ran into each other a couple of times in this game. I think, if I recall, I just finished Claire's scenario. You basically meet Leon at the very end of the game, like the last cutscene. That's it. Like what the hell? So they don't really interact in this game. So yeah, and then what else? They added a bunch of DLC to Resident Evil 2 Remake. I haven't played the DLC yet, but I think it's really cool that they have all this cool extra DLC for free. There was no DLC obviously back in the day, but one of the cool things about the original was that the original had the zapping system, right? So basically what you did with Scenario A affected what happened to B and vice versa. To really encourage multiple playthroughs, so to truly experience everything there is to the game has to offer, you'd have to play the game 4 times. In this game, the remake, for some reason they got rid of the zapping system. So yeah, basically you beat it once with Leon, you beat it once with Claire, and there's no really incentive to go back and play it another 2 times, because it's going to play out the same way more or less. That really sucks. So there's no zapping system in the remake. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean it's a good game. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. But like Resident Evil 2, the original is like, to me, is like a 9.6. It's such an amazing game. It's a game that beckons for you to come back and play it over and over. And the fact that it's a short game means it doesn't wear out its welcome. You know what I mean? You can play it again and again, pick up and play, repeat the game in a day. It's like a bite-sized fun. With this game, you can't really do that. It's a lot lengthier than the original. And yeah, I mean, it's just the original is it's so much better for its time. Other than some cheesy dialogue and voice acting, I mean, another thing I didn't like with the remake was all the swearing. I know a lot of people seem to like it. They said it was more realistic, but it just, to me, it's such a turnoff. So many f-bombs and like the characters came off as like frat boys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like the idealistic, the rookie cop. The naive rookie cop, Leon, the innocent, nice. White knight type of cop. Like I don't like white knights in general, but like I don't know. I just like the original Leon. She seemed like to be such like a charming, likable guy. And same with Claire. She was so sweet. She was badass, but she was sweet. And then I don't know, all the swearing. It just seemed gratuitous, and I didn't like it. I like the original Leon and Claire and the original Ada way more. I mean, like the whole quote unquote death. The death ending or whatever, what have you, the remake. But Ada was so unsatisfying. You compare it to like the original, where basically Ada points a gun at Leon, and then she ends up plummeting for so-called death, and Leon goes to check the gun and finds out that the gun didn't have any ammo. That hit home to me. That's like one of the most memorable moments in gaming history to me. It was like, wow, the way they weave the story, it is brilliant. And then this game was like, it wasn't that satisfying in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, it's a disappointment. I went in with low expectations. It's a solid game. We'll play the DLC, and but yeah, like the original is better, and it's nowhere near the best Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 2 is the best, the original. Resident Evil 4 is the second best. Code Veronica is third. Then it's a remake of the original. Then it's probably either Zero or Nemesis. And then it's a bunch of games. I don't know, maybe 7. 7 is a really good game. I don't know. It's like near the bottom for me. It's not like as bad as Resident Evil 6, which was an abomination. Worst Resident Evil game of all time. But I'm trying to make sense of why people think this is like the greatest survival horror game, and why it's so much better than the original. Like what is it about it? I just mentioned like a lot of the issues with the game. The graphics aren't the greatest. It's rushed in many ways. The story isn't as good. You know, like the characters aren't as likable as the original. Like there's a lot of backtracking. Mr. X is a huge pain in the ass. The enemies are bullet sponges. Some of the puzzles are annoying as hell. There's no zapping system. You know, you gotta deal with load times. You don't have to deal with load times with the original. No, you have to buy the soundtrack, original soundtrack. The soundtrack that comes with the game is shit. The aiming is kind of off. Also, having to push in the LS stick to run all the time, to sprint, is a huge pain in the ass. It doesn't seem like it, but when you gotta keep pressing it every couple of seconds or what have you, it's really annoying. You don't have to deal with that with the original. You can just run. Oh, also, there's no crows in this fucking game. What the hell? There are no crows in the remake. There are no spiders, huge gargantuan, freaking monolithic spiders in the remake. Why? The spiders have always been a huge part of the franchise. They were in the original, they were in the second, they were in the third, and they were even in Code Veronica with the spider boss. And also, yeah, like they've been such a signature part of the franchise. I don't think there were any 5 and 6 or 4. And there were many of the first entries. Like, why did they get rid of the spiders? It would have been so cool. No spiders, no crows. Any other enemies that they admitted? I don't think so. What, you got zombies. You got William and all his transformations. You got Mr. X. You got lickers. Oh, they got rid of the super lickers. I forgot what do they call the super lickers? Remember near the end of the game in the Resident Evil 2, the original, in the laboratory area, you deal with these like super lickers, or like greenish black, that were more powerful than the regular lickers. They got rid of them. There was also a moth boss in the original. They got rid of them. There's no moth boss. There are no like larvae moth creatures to deal with in the remake. So they got rid of the moth boss. They got rid of like the larvae and bugs and stuff. Yeah. Any enemies? Got rid of the super lickers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what they're called exactly. I think they're called super lickers or something. They're not in this game.
Maybe she wasn't strong enough to move it or something.
I think that's pretty much it. Spider zombies. Cerberus dogs are back.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Okay, yeah, pretty much it. So I don't know. It seems like a step back for me. After 21 years in the making, guys, in a sense. Look at what they did with the remake of the original. It came out just 5 years after PS1 game. And it was so much better than the original. It was a quantum leap better. Graphically, the game was a marvel to behold. It showed what the GameCube could do. It was the most gorgeous game of its generation.
But no, the hip patches are really cool.
Stunning visuals that still hold up beautifully today. I'm telling you, the remastered remake on the PS4 looks better than the Resident Evil 2 remake. It looks more photorealistic.
It's really sweet. You really do get a nice little...
I don't know.
Even though it's a demo,
It was so much more terrifying. Remember Crimson Heads?
Okay, I think
I don't know.
know what happens next after.
It was so much better. The voice acting was so much better. The graphics, the music was phenomenal. Incredible soundtrack. One of the greatest in video game history. So much better than the original. Everything about it was better than the original. You had defensive items, 180 spin, enhanced controls on the PS3 and whatever, 360, achievements, trophies.
yeah, I mean,
That's how you make a remake.
the first time in
And they only charge $20 for remaster remake. And the same with Zero, the remaster remake of Zero. Another great game, very underrated. I don't know. One good thing about the remake though is they did add defensive items. You got flash grenades, combat knife, hand grenades.
The grenade launcher, like, I'm really
I think those are the 3 defensive items you can use. They're pretty cool. There were no defensive items in the original. But the cool thing about the original is, if you button mashed enough, you could actually like mitigate a lot of the damage. In this game, if you don't have a defensive item and you get bitten, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You're screwed. It'll take a big chunk out of your health. It usually takes us 1 bite to take you from fine to caution, and 2 bites to take you from caution, take you from fine to danger or whatever. So you really gotta be careful. With the second, I recall, I remember playing it like button mashing and like getting rid of zombies, pushing them away, and like not getting sustaining any damage, or very little damage. This game you gotta really be careful because the aiming is so shitty. You know, it makes the game more. This game is definitely way more difficult than the original, like, hands down. Like I remember playing the original, I never having not died a single time. In this game I died like 3 times, so it's definitely a lot harder. I'm just warning you. Who knows? I might go back and play it on nightmare mode just to challenge myself. Because I usually end up playing Resident Evil games like normal, and then I play them on hard after. Like I said, I did it with 3 and the remake and 4. I think I did the same with 5. Yeah, and Operation Raccoon City. I didn't do it with 6. I didn't like 6. So yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it. It's a good game. It's just very overrated. And if you love this game, can you please explain why you think it's so much better than 2, or why you think it's the best Resident Evil game ever made? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Alright, ciao.